Another toxic expectation that I see people have is that there should be some physical proof, some physical result, tangible physical result. You have, it even goes back in Christianity, Jesus performed these miracles. He raised the dead, healed the sick, walked on water. You see Christians out there who are so focused on this that some people have the ability to heal so they can do what Jesus did. And you see spiritual people, New Age people, who want to have some kind of guru that can produce some kind of physical result. Sometimes it can be flashes of light or sounds, or they can manifest something, they think, whatever it may be. So there's another expectation out there that one day there will be some physical, undeniable proof that our spiritual movement was right. In my first spiritual movement, they started at some point giving these techniques based on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and one of them was this levitation technique where you could levitate. You could learn to literally levitate and hold your body up. And there was great excitement and great expectation that one day there would be some people who were able to levitate, and it would be proof to the whole world that meditation worked. And this was 50 years ago, and there are some people who can hop along, but there isn't anybody who can levitate and stay in the air. In my second spiritual movement, there was expectations that one day there would be these mass ascensions where people would ascend in a visible way. They would be taken up into the air, into a shaft of light, and this would be a physical, tangible proof. Others expected that one day the ascended masters would appear in a physical or at least visible form, and therefore there would be proof. And some people chase after this. It's kind of like this old drawing with a donkey that's pulling a cart, and there's a man sitting with a long stick, and there's a carrot hanging in front of the donkey. And the donkey is running. It thinks one day it can catch up and get the carrot, but of course it's just pushing the carrot in front of it as it's running. And it's a toxic expectation because it doesn't happen. And after a while, you're going to start wondering why it hasn't happened, and you will be disappointed. Or you can live the rest of your life hoping that, it didn't happen in the last 50 years, but next week it's going to happen. But it's actually a misunderstanding of the time we're living in. And the Ascended Masters have explained this, that at the time of Jesus, there was a certain necessity to do these physical things that Jesus did in order to attract people, because the collective consciousness was very low. But today, the collective consciousness has been raised much more. And the Ascended Masters do not want to give some physical proof of their existence, because that would just attract all kinds of people who are only there for some kind of phenomenon. There are even some spiritual teachers who have been able to manifest some kind of phenomenon, but they have realized after a while that it doesn't really do anything for people, because people just want more and more. And then they want something more extreme, more than the last time. And it's never ending, and it doesn't lead to spiritual growth. So the Masters realize that the overall law is free will. And right now the free will says there has to be plausible deniability. So in other words, if people want to deny that there's a spiritual realm, deny that there's God, it has to be possible. So this means that the Ascended Masters are not allowed to give some undeniable proof of their existence or that there's a spiritual reality beyond the material. This is something that must be left so that people can deny it, and so that you only come to it by going within, having these genuine mystical experiences that show you this is real without physical proof. Because this is actually the higher levels of the spiritual path. It's when you come to the point where you don't need a physical proof, because you have an inner experience that shows you there is a reality, there is a spiritual realm, the Ascended Masters really do exist because I've experienced their presence with me, and you no longer need the physical proof. So if a physical proof was given, what would it do? It would keep people trapped at that level of consciousness where physical proof seems important. So it's really a toxic expectation, and I was never really caught up in it, but I came to a point where I saw why it was toxic, and I saw some people that were still trapped in this, hoping for this physical proof. And it just sort of, it becomes an excuse for not looking at yourself, because you're thinking, I don't need to look at myself because one day the masters are going to prove this, and then everything will be wonderful. However people envision this, they have various fantasies about what will happen when this physical proof is given. But it basically gives them this excuse, I don't need to look at myself. And that means you're not making progress. So you're kept there in this suspended animation without making progress.